What is an anti-pattern?
Something that you shouldn't be doing.
Well, that's subjective. Like, give me an example of one.
A single. Well, so
Hey,
single. Yeah,
sometimes friends let friends singleton.
Yeah, no, they do not. So then there's still two more things with the back end.
Yeah, let's hear it.
The other one was we wanted to introduce dependency injection, and this is to kind of fulfill our unit testing desire.
Yeah.
What the caveat right now is we are not doing unit testing, or we try to do the best that we can.
It's
but
like the first thing to go when anything gets hard. Like you stub your toe, you're like, we're gonna throw out unit testing. Like it never. We make this concerted effort for like 2 weeks, and then
we've kickstarted it a couple times.
Yeah, and it never holds.
Here's a set. Okay, there is one major deficiency, and there is a tangible connection between the database and the service layer, and that needs to be severed. That's what's what's really killing it.
Yeah.
Because
So the original problem that I introduced is still not solved.
Well,
we can't mock the data access.
We can. The problem is because we brought in Entity Framework Core into all of our services, and just by adding that using statement, like by that definition, we did it wrong.
Yeah, we're like instantiating.
Yeah.
So
anyway, so the next one, it's a lesser of a challenge, but it was still something, was adding dependency injection, right? So we have these new services. They're all interfaces. How are you going to use the concretes? We could build the concretes and dependency injection is just interesting in general because of how many states we support and difference in business logic, but that's on different. Go into that in a minute.
States meaning like different implementations of our software for different clients.
Yeah. So dependency injection. Typically, in .NET Core added a dependency injector with it by default called the Unity dependency injection, something like that. And that one only supported constructor injection or parameter injection. As the two potential options. New system, easy to do. However, we need to reuse these same interfaces in our old system. So how do you do that? That is something, and we couldn't just go around and refactor everything and be like, okay, let's put it in the constructor because the constructors are used in other things. Like there's just a lot of goofy patterns that we didn't want to add the risk to it. Luckily, Ninject had an implementation that did property injection.
Ninject being a DI framework?
Yeah, it was a .NET framework implementation of dependency injection.
Yeah.
So they did property injection. So we were able to, we scaffolded in the dependency injector saying like, okay, this is, on startup, do your whole thing. And then in every user control, we had to, we didn't have to, but whenever we decided to use our new BL information, boom, make a new property, say we're going to inject it, we're off to the races.
Is it just like a data annotation on the top of the property?
Yeah, dumb simple.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I think it's typically considered an anti-pattern, but like they built it in. And
what is an anti-pattern?
Something that you shouldn't be doing.
Well, that's subjective. Like, give me an example of one.
A single. Well, so
hey, sometimes friends let friends singleton.
Yeah, no, they do not. Actually, so to go back to Robert's point of the BL, everything was static extension methods, which is why it could not be unit tested because you couldn't. That was a nightmare.
Okay, yeah, but it was cool to write with. Like,
no, but like there's certain things like sometimes it's desired, right? So like a singleton typically is considered an anti-pattern.
But why?
Because it's stateful generally, and you can't like reinstantiate it. But like
but sometimes
there's purpose. But there's purpose for it. Like there's so sometimes if you do like a factory, that can be considered an anti-pattern depending on how you use it, because a dependency injector should be your factory.
Yeah.
Right. But we have implementations where we build additional factories to kind of traverse like statuses between processes.
Yeah. Just the word, this is just me being picky, but it's like, it's something you should avoid unless it's absolutely necessary.
Generally, there is a pattern to
we were
avoid
working.
it.
No, we were working on that document of database designs. This would have been one of those yellow things, the things to avoid, right? Like, it's there could be a solid argument for every anti-pattern out there.
Oh, for sure. Like they all have their uses.
Yeah.
But generally, when it's an anti-pattern, the scalability and the maintenance of it usually is a nightmare.
Yeah.
So when something goes wrong, like, you're not going to think the singleton, or maybe you do, but like, which one is it, and why is it not working in this one scenario?
Are static variables anti-patterns?
Static variables are anti-pattern. They're a bad time.
Yeah.
That's a whole other nightmare on our side.
Yeah.
But
We just had to deal with that.
we did. It sucked.
Moving from a single tenant to a multi-tenant.
Yeah. Static killed us.
Yeah,
that was 90% of the work.
Are we out of the woods with that still?
No.
The business, my old BL layer is still.
Yeah, it's alive and kicking.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, there's only five instances of it that are hot garbage.
Yeah. So for context, the way that the application was originally built was every tenant, every client
got their own implementation.
Got their own implementation. It was deployed to a web server.
So memory and everything was isolated.
Yeah. And that, that worked, but again, it doesn't scale well, because as you add more clients, you add more overhead, because now you have another DevOps pipeline, another release schedule, you need more servers. So the
maintainability, it doesn't scale.
Yeah. So we decided, hey, we're at a point in the maturity of this app where we need to seriously consider moving to a multi-tenanted model, which most software as a service is multi-tenanted. When you sign up for a new account on your typical SaaS website, you're not given a new server. You're just kind of like brought alongside in the existing server.
Yeah. So like you're, if anybody is using any like planning platforms like Trello, Jira,
all multi-tenanted.
Target Process, because you get like either a subdomain or or there's something in the URL.
Yeah. So we recently moved to a multi-tenanted model. We haven't quite gone there yet. Like, the code is 99% there to support it.
We're doing a lot of internal testing to validate that this is going to be we know it's a viable option. We're just working out the kinks yet.
Yeah, trying to find all the bugs that are going to be caused by doing it, and dealing with all the issues with deployment and everything, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, that I remember the static variables was a huge hurdle. Like, there was a whole month we spent just identifying static variables and fixing them.